Hello everyone, it is Wednesday the 5th of February and that means it's time for another Scrapbooking Spotlight video. This month I'm playing with my Kit of the Month from last month. So each month I'm announcing a Kit of the Month, which will be the one that I'm going to be playing with at the next video, and that way you've got a whole month to decide whether that's a kit you'd like to have that you'd like to create with me for the following month. So this month our kit of choice was the Everyday You and Me workshop kit, and this is the one we're going to be playing with today. How is everyone? How are we all? Roz is here. Hello, Lani. Hi, Maureen. We have a good little crowd here already. Thank you so much for joining me. And Monique is here. Oh, yes, because it's a weird time of the day for you in Europe, isn't it? All right, so I've got a few friends here. Good to see you girls. And I hope that some more will pop on as we go along. All right, so I've got a few things to show you. So I'm going to switch over to the desk and let's see how we go. Hey, Jeanette. Hi, Janine. How is Colorado? Is it cold there today? And Marty's here. Hello. This is a better time of the day for you, isn't it, Marty? Jeanette, where are you? Are you in Australia, and so the time doesn't matter probably so much? But I know some of the US and North American, Canadian girls are they find this a better time of day for me to go live. So love to hear all of you and love to see you here. So thank you for joining me today. All right, let's switch over to the desk. I might need to straighten that up a tiny bit. Let me just kind of move that in. All right, before I forget, I want to tell you guys that we've had more Sale-A-Bration items added this week. So we've still got all the things that are available in this catalogue, you know, papers and stamps and ribbons and all kinds of things. Lots and lots of fun things in this current Sale-A-Bration book. And some of these things in here I think have been made specifically with scrapbooking in mind, like the documenting the day set. That's definitely lends itself to scrapbooking, and they've actually shown it used on a scrapbooking page. So that's a bit of fun, that one there. But they've also released all these extra Sale-A-Bration items. So these are all level 1 items, which means they have added to any item that you can choose for free with a $100 order. Okay, so I'm letting you know. Hey, Kate, I can see you there. How are you? 8 p.m. That's a better time for you, Marty. Much, much better. Oh, Janine, it's warmed up a bit. Well, that's good. Oh, you're in Wollongong, Jeanette. Right. Well, then your weather is similar to mine, and the time of day is exactly the same as mine. I hope you're doing all right down there in Wollongong. It's one of my favourite places to visit. I've got a dear friend down there who I love to go and see from time to time. And Karen's in Nebraska. Hi, Karen. You know, I know almost nothing about Nebraska. I'm so sorry. I probably should know more than I do, but I'm sure it's a beautiful place. I conjure up wide open spaces and you know, fields when I think about Nebraska. Am I right, or have I got that all wrong? Oh, you were up late last night to see all the new stuff. I know there's some really good new stuff too for demonstrators who are looking at the new stuff online. There are some fantastic new online exclusives. They'll be live for customers next month, but this month they're available for pre-order for demonstrators, and they are fantastic. Really, really good. Oh, I'm on the big screen, am I, Kate? Well, hopefully that's not overwhelming. It's hot and humid here too. Yes, so we're meant to have 32 today, which is not crazy bad, but I'm in a very hot craft room. So I will, after this video, I'll be heading out to the air conditioning in other parts of the house. So yes, it's warm here today as well. All right, so these are more items. Now, I have not all of these, but most of these in my stash, because these are, for the most part, current product that they have released available as free items. Now, the thing to note is if you try, for example, the Sale-A-Bration item here is the beautiful butterfly stamp set, which is a bit crazy because this is the set. It's only new in our catalogue, in our mini catalogue, and they've made it a Sale-A-Bration item. If you use the item number that's in the catalogue, you will get charged full price. So you would need to make sure you use this item number 168092 if you want the beautiful butterfly set. That is free, okay? So if you want it free, you need to make sure you use the Sale-A-Bration number because it's a different number than what it is in the catalogue with. So that's probably worth knowing. So I am right about the rural area of Nebraska, but you've also got larger metro areas. So what's the capital of Nebraska? Oh, my American state knowledge is not very good. I'm so sorry. I know some, but I don't know Nebraska. All right. So this one, Sale-A-Bration set, this is called Natural Botanicals. This is also in the mini catalogue. This one, the Paradise Photo Planted Paradise, this one is actually in our annual catalogue. In fact, I've got it right here. It's got lots and lots of, I've done some cool stuff with this. The only thing that that it's worth noting, they've actually got, can you see that they've actually shown you both the stamp and then the reverse? So if you want to color in the stamp, you can turn it over and stamp the other side in a lighter color to color it in. So they have shown both the front of the stamp and the reverse. So it looks like there's double the number of stamps in this set, but there's actually 20 stamps. Okay, so just to bear that in mind when you're looking at this one, it's both the front and the back of the stamp. That's why some of them are grey. So it's meant to be a stamp set that you use both sides of the stamp. Now, the one that's really attracting my attention at the moment, and I hope it's going to be around for a while, but just in case it's not, I want to bring your attention to it, and it's this, the Sale-A-Bration set that's called the Alphabet Alamo. This is an annual catalogue die set, which is an alphabet, and I have used it on, remember last month we did this page, do you guys remember? And I've got my flip flap there now so I can see my dad's writing on the back. But this is the page, and these are the letters, these are the Alphabet Alamo dies that I use. So this is a Sale-A-Bration item now. These, to buy them, if you use the catalog number, it's going to cost you $74 to buy these alphabet dies, and yet if you're placing a $100 order, you're going to get them for free by using the number that is in the Sale-A-Bration brochure, the 168074. That's, now you don't need to remember the numbers, because when you're in the online store, they all just appear, all the pictures appear, and you just click on the one you want. So it's actually super, super easy. You've got those dies, me too. I know they're fantastic, and I've used them, as you can see here. I may even use them again today. I haven't decided, but we can make our decision about that. The Trusty Tools dies are also on sale with a $100 order for free. Sorry, not for sale. They're for free with a $100 order. Or the Bee Builder Punch. Now, this is interesting because the Bee Builder Punch is this one. I don't know if you can see it very well. There you go. This Bee Builder Punch actually matches the Be My Valentine set. Okay, so this used to be a bundle, and this actually cuts out the bee body and the stinger there, and then you've got these, the heart that can double as wings for the bee. Okay, super, super cute. Now, the Bee Punch is available as a freebie. Okay, spend $100, get the free punch. However, all right, it also matches this set. Okay, now this set called Meant to Be is the new, one of the new sets that goes with our Meant to Be scrapbooking workshop kit. That is the one I'm going to do next month. Okay, so next, and I'd like to show it to you. I'd like to show it to you, but I've got a cat sleeping on it at the moment, and I don't want to disturb him. So we'll wait and see if he moves before the end of this. If he moves before the end of this video, then I will pick it up and show you. But he's lying smack bang on that particular workshop kit on the floor. So I really shouldn't put them on the floor because I only have myself to blame. That's where he wants to be. Oh, you got them for free. That's great, Kate. Fantastic. Yes, I think, Maureen, I think that those alphabet dies, I'm wondering if they'll actually even last the full celebration period, because they're going to be super popular. I mean, a $74 item for free, that's fantastic. All right, so those of you who are keen on those, don't wait. Get in and get them ASAP. Ah, Omaha is the largest city, but Lincoln is the state capital. See, Janine knew. So we're talking about the capital of Nebraska. So there you go. The capital is, you're thinking Omaha, isn't Omaha another, isn't, yeah, so Omaha's the largest city. Got it. That kind of makes sense. Like here in Australia, our largest city is not our capital either. Most people know either Sydney is the largest city, for, Melbourne's not far behind. But interestingly, for anyone who doesn't know this little interesting bit of Australian history, Canberra is the capital, okay? And everyone goes, Canberra, what's that? Good question. It's a medium-sized city, not a large city, but it's a medium-sized city set smack bang between Melbourne and Sydney, because Melbourne and Sydney couldn't decide who should be the capital, or they were fighting over which one should be the capital of Australia. So they just made a whole new city and stuck it halfway between the two. So Canberra is our capital, all because Sydney and Melbourne couldn't decide who it should be. So they made up another one. So there you go. Interesting bit of history for you. You can look up Canberra. It's spelled Canberra. Sorry, Berra. Canberra, but in Australia we don't say Canberra, we say Canberra. So it's just, I don't know, it's just a funny thing. Little bit of funny information for you today. You picked those alphabet eyes for your free item too, Maureen. I know, right? Exactly. That's that's just how it works. I know. Well, it's actually, I think they're actually 74. Is that right, Jeanette? Definitely. It's almost worth spending $100 just to get the dies. Exactly. I agree with you. All right. Other things that are in here are the Sale-A-Bration Happy Labels Pick-a-Punch, the Happy Houseplants Kit, which is the 4 frames with the pictures of the little pot plants. And then we have a Hooray for Honeycomb kit. We have the gold and navy glittered ribbon. Oh, my goodness. This stuff, I'll be sad if that retires, but I'm expecting it to because we've had it around for a while. And the brushed brass, I can never say this, brushed brass butterflies. Try saying that a whole bunch of times fast, okay? Because seriously, that is a hard thing to say, brushed brass butterflies. Okay, so those guys, I got those as a free item because I was out of those. I've actually used all my brushed brass butterflies. I've used them all up. So I was very happy to get those as a free item, and I already have the alphabet dies. So, all right. So I wanted to show you that first because these are all new things that just came out yesterday. So today is a really good day to tell you about them, and I will show you the full workshop kit, the meant to be set, if Merlot decides he's finished his nap and we get them at the end of the session. Oh, Marty's in Pittsburgh, so not very far from Ohio, right? You ordered the alphabet and the tools, Lundy. That's great. Oh, there you go, Marty. Well, see, I'm all about, you know, educating people all about Australia. That's not why I'm here, but hey, that's a nice little side benefit, right? So let's pull out this kit and get started. This is the Everyday You and Me kit, and it was my kit of the month last month. So if you purchased this waiting for today, then thank you very much, whether you purchased it from me or whether you, if you're a demonstrator, you maybe purchased it from yourself, or maybe you have your own demonstrator and you get yours elsewhere. But this is a great kit. And I chose this one for a few reasons. First of all, I love the colors. All right, so we've got, and if you are, this is the full kit. I've just pulled it out of its bag. Oh, hang on a second. The piece of paper that is at the back of the DSP has all the colors on it, so we can see what colors are in here. So Grey Granite, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, Pretty Peacock, Very Vanilla, Wild Wheat. Okay, those are our main colors in here. And the reason I'm going through the colors with you first is I'm quite inspired by particular colors. For example, these kind of earthy blue-green colors go really well with outdoor photos. Okay, so you want to be thinking when you're looking at your workshop kits, think about what kind of photos you want to scrapbook, and you will find that some kits lend themselves more to certain types of photos than others. So for example, when I was looking through, I found a few, and I decided today I wanted to do 2 photos. So I've got a couple of good memories from different things. Now there are lots and lots of blue greens in here, and you're going to see when I start just opening up this pack and looking at all the paper that's in there, and these are front and back, but you can see how nice these colors look on. So even though we've got quite a bright blue that is not in the paper, it still goes, and the green comes right into it as well. So these are some lookout photos that I took when I was in Michigan. This is actually Lake Michigan for anyone who is wondering, and that's where my husband's family lives. So we go visit, and this was taken probably not quite an hour north of where they live. So they live right by the lake, but it looks like the ocean, doesn't it? But it's not. You can't see from one side to the other. It's so wide. It's a huge body of water. So there's those photos. What else did I have here? I also have some photos taken on the Alaska cruise myself, just sitting on our cruise balcony. I've got this blanket is a blanket that Stampin' Up gave us, and the jacket also, obviously, you can see it's got Stampin' Up on it. So I was sitting out in the balcony trying to keep warm while we were watching glaciers and stuff like that. Pretty cool. And that actually, the navy and then the greeny blue, this is almost Lost Lagoon, isn't it? Those colors go really nicely with all of these as well. Okay, so, and you can see the color in here, even though it's not wild wheat, it tones in really nicely with the wild wheat. It's like a greeny yellow, so that goes really well. So I thought those two would go great. And then the third ones, and these are the ones I'm leaning towards, these are photos of my husband swimming in the river around our resort in Mexico. So this is some photos that I really wanted to scrapbook. There is another photo, and I need to find it, and it might be good for if I'm only doing a single page layout today, but if I was to do a second page, there is a photo of him jumping, like it's not this cliff, but jumping from a similar height cliff into the water. So he did a bit of cliff jumping when we were there. And when I find that photo, I'm not sure where it is, but when I find that photo, I think I'll scrapbook that one on the opposite page as a double layout. So so think about what photos you have. If you have 3 photos, and this is something else, I am quite often guided by the photos on the front. Now you can copy these layouts exactly, and the instructions, the cutting guide, the instructions are all in here. When you open it up, you can see how you're meant to cut your papers. It actually shows you which papers and how you're going to cut them, okay, which is fantastic. Makes it really, really easy. And then once you've cut all your papers up, then it shows you, okay, layout 1 on the left page, this is the preparation and how to assemble it. Okay, so it comes with full instructions. So if you wanted to make the layouts that are actually in these papers, you will find them really easy to follow. They're really great. Okay, and it tells you what materials you need, what color ink pad, which Stampin' Write marker. There's blending brushes. We have suggested adhesives and paper snips. Those are all the things you're going to need. And then over on this side, it tells you what size photos. So to gather for these, they used 15 photos for all 6 layouts. I'm only doing 1 layout, so I can choose as many photos on that page as I like. So if I wanted 3, we have this one here, this layout here has 3 photos, right? Hello, Inika, how are you? Nice to see you here. Hello, Deborah. Oh, there you go, because you're in Ohio too, aren't you? I think I missed that comment earlier. I think I saw it slide by. You guys. So this is 3, and you can see, you know, I could copy this if I wanted to, and that would get me started. So if you're new to scrapbooking, or if you're getting back into it after a long period away, you will find these scrapbooking workshop kits so easy to work with. You can just literally copy if you want to and follow the instructions. Super, super easy. If you want to go off and do your own thing, which is what I like to do, then and that's what I'm going to do today. We're going to do an alternate design. You can still be inspired by some of these if you want to. So I can see they've used 3 layouts here. You don't have to, but 3 photographs. And on this one, also use 3. Okay, so they've got 6 panels, 3 are decorative and 3 are photos. Okay, down here they've got 1 photo with some other bits and pieces going on around. This one they've got 4. Can you see that? We've got 4 photos here. Let me turn my light on, see if that's better. Oh, that is a bit better. Sorry about that, guys. Then here we've got 3. We've got 1 big one and 2 smaller ones. And here we've got 1. Okay, so all of the layouts here are either 3 or 1. But I want to do 2 because I'm, you know, difficult like that. So I'm thinking I'm going to do these ones. Do you guys agree? Should I do these? So it's either these, or I do the photo of myself in Alaska, or let me see, what was the other one? What was the other one I had? I had another one, but it's gone walkabout. I don't even know what it was. Oh, it was the lookout photos. That's what it was. So those are nice as well. And I've got a photo of my husband and I at the lookout, and that could be a good single photo to use on the other page, or maybe a flip flap over the top. Okay, we talked about flip flaps last month, and you can see I've used a flip flap on this page. In this case, I'm going to actually write something down here. So I'm going to have that on the side. I haven't finished that bit yet. I thought that might be a good place if I can get my dad to write the date. Someone suggested that in last month's scrapbooking session. And I thought, what a great idea. Actually, I've just had some news this morning. My dad's back in hospital. He was in emergency this morning after having a nasty fall last night. So that's not great. And we're heading up there this weekend, which we were already going to head up there this weekend. So yeah, I really, really do need him to write that on if I can, because I think that would be a really lovely thing, a really nice way of managing that. So I left this kind of little border here, and I'm just going to have a strip of paper that goes down there. I'll get him to write it on a piece of paper, and then I'll cut around it. Yeah. So these flip flaps are great. These ones are 6x4, and these are available now. You can buy these, but there's all different size flip flaps. We've worked with an 8x12 one, which goes like halfway over our page and opens up, so you have like an extra page of photos, which is really great. Yeah, it's not great, Roz, and I hope so too, Marty. Yeah. But you know, there's something. It's not very nice, aging parents. It's really hard, but we're just grateful for every day we have with him. I did get to talk to him this morning. He was sounding okay because I had him on oxygen, so I think he was doing better because he was on the oxygen. So yeah, it's it's not very nice, is it? And you know, I think it's really hard for him because he's always been so independent, and so, you know, he's always been the one that everyone else needed, and now he needs other people, and it's very hard for him to deal with that. So I think that's making things a little difficult. But anyway, there you go. You can see my dad right there. That's what he looked like when he was young. And my mum. My mum passed in 2017. So yeah, and they live in Tamworth, so it's about 5 hours away from here, 5 hours north. We were already planning on going up to visit on Saturday, and I rang when I spoke to them this morning. I said, do you need me to come up earlier? And they said, no, there's nothing you can do right now. We don't know how long he'll be in hospital. So so I'm going to do that on Saturday. We'll still go on Saturday as planned. So, all right, I'm going to do these couple of photos. Thank goodness I have this job that I can create and immerse myself in beautiful creative habits. And this is one of the reasons, not the only reason, of course, but this is one of the reasons why we scrapbook and why we make cards and why we get our creative juices going. The reason why is because it distracts us from all the other awful things that are going on and out in the world, right? So it's really great to be able to distract yourself and immerse yourself in something creative, because it really does use a different part of your brain, and it's very calming. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all your beautiful comments. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to take you through the papers that are in here. So there are front and back 2 of each. So those 2 of each. What I like about the wild wheat, let me show you. I actually pulled out all the colours in this before I started, except vanilla. I didn't pull out vanilla because I'm going to use white, I think, and I'm not using that one. But this is wild wheat. Okay, it's quite strong. It's a yellowy green to me, and so when we look at this, that's wild wheat too, but it's watered down. Can you see that? So they've basically muted it, and I really like it muted. I think sometimes it's a little bit strong as a solid color, but as a muted color, it's just beautiful. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, my dad is 91, and he was really healthy up until the last couple of years, and like I'd say the last 18 months, he's gone steadily. He's declined quite badly. So he's gone from being very healthy and independent and still driving and doing all the things to not being able to do those things now, and it's really hard. So all right, so Mossy Meadow is in here. Grey Granite features quite strongly in here, and this is a great color. It's a great neutral, so this will work really well with our colors. I've got Pretty Peacock in here, and I've got Lost Lagoon. So I went through and pulled out all the colors that are written on the back of the paper, and this is the white. Okay, so so there we go. So those 2, or that one, those 2 go together. Then we've got this one, and on the back of this one's my favorite piece in here, which is this. You're probably not surprised. It looks to me like it's been blended and smooshed around. How nice is that paper? Love this one. Oh, that's really hard, Kate. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, and I'm sorry if I've missed everyone's comments. It's hard to keep up. All right, so then the back of that one, we have the Lost Lagoon and white dots, which is actually really pretty. Then we've got this one, which has got like some lovely sort of wonky stripes. Let's call them wonky stripes. And then on the back of that, we have like roses. You guys might have seen I made a card. In fact, I've made a couple of cards. I made one with this paper, and then I did another one. Let's just see. This is the one we made on Sunday night, okay? And I will show you which paper I used for that. But this is the one we made on Sunday night with elements of this suite. So those two go together. So there are 12 sheets of the paper. And then actually there's not a full 12 sheets in, or is there? I don't know. There's not 12 sheets in the workshop kit pack, but there are 12 sheets in the paper if you buy the paper by itself. And I did both. I bought the workshop kit and then I bought a paper pack with the stickers as well. Okay, so then this is single-sided. Now the single-sided ones, there are 2 each of these, this one and this one. And the single-sided ones are exclusive to the kit. So they are not in the DSP pack. So these ones, just remember, they are only exclusive sheets. They're in the workshop kit. Okay, and then we have some die cut pieces. So this is a die cut pieces. This is one. Okay, and you might notice, so this big shape, can you see it there? I'm trying to make it that you can see it. That one is the one that is shown down the bottom here. And in one case, they use the white, the piece from the center. So it's actually got a bit of texture to it. I don't know if you can see. Can you see the texture there? Okay, so that one they've used on the wild wheat, this piece. All right, so they've actually pushed it out, the die cut, and then put it onto this as the base. That's this one. And then they've used the outside edge and a different piece inside, and they've used both the inside and the outside piece for 2 different matching layouts. Okay, which is kind of cool. Oh, shaky card for Dad. Yeah, do you know? That's interesting because I did kind of like I've done quite a lot of Trusty Tools cards for Dad because Dad was a builder all his life, and his favorite thing to do for many years was to shop at Bunnings for which is now my husband's favorite occupation. He likes to go tool shopping at Bunnings as well. I know it's really pretty, Roz. It's really, really lovely. And just having a little look. Oh, thank you for the thoughts and prayers. I'm so grateful. Thank you very much, you guys. Janine, my dad has that too. He has macular degeneration. He had his most recent eye injection last week and got the best report he's had for a while. So yeah. So I'm worrying that because Dad does not want to go into a nursing home. He really doesn't want to go into it. And there's a number of reasons why, financial not being the least of it. But Anne's trying to look after him at home, and it's going to get to a point that I think she might not be able to. And that's what happened this morning. She had to call the ambulance because there's no way she can get him up when he's had a fall like that. So, yeah. Yes. So Dad has macular degeneration in the last year. He's been also diagnosed type 2 diabetes, which is crazy because he weighs less than I do. Like he's not a big guy, and he's always been very, very healthy and eaten very healthy, but diabetes is in the family. So I guess that's something I need to watch out for as well. But I did have gestational diabetes when I had my son. I actually got that. Now, this is another page of die cuts. These are not stickers, and these are in the workshop kit as well. And you can see there's some really nice ones. All of Us Together is really nice, except I haven't got the right photos for that today. But I do really like that, that as a title on a page. And then we've got some other die cut pieces, some big flowers that can be layered on each other, and some leaves to go with those. So these are really, really lovely. And you could tie a bit of cord or something through the hole in this little die cut here if you wanted to. Super, super cute. Am I taking eye vitamins to protect my eyes? No. Huh, that's interesting. No, I didn't know about that, Janine. Hasn't been mentioned by my eye doctor either, but that's interesting. I know I do go for yearly checks, and they always look for that. All right, so this is our cardstock now, and it's the two-tone cardstock. Can you see the difference between the front and the back? All right, so this is like a lighter, brighter, and this is your darker. So you can use either side of your paper. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of the Pretty Peacock, okay, and then there is 1 of the Lost Lagoon, okay. Then we have a sticker sheet, and the sticker sheet has lots of cool things on it. I love this, and I noticed that they used it here, and they like it's the top layer says today, and then they wrote different things that happened on today on each of the different colors. I really like that. I think that's really nice. These little panels, these 3 little stickers here, they've used them here underneath here. So I initially thought those were cardstock, were DSP strips, but they're not, they're stickers. So you can use the stickers as much as you like too on all of this. The other thing you have is placeholders. So if you don't have photos ready to use, you can put this on until you're ready to find the photo that you want to use. So there's 3x4 ones. There's 4x6 there. There's some 3x3s. So different sizes that you can put on just to kind of work around so that you don't have to have your photos ready to go. The one thing I did not show you that's in this pack, I think I pulled it out at the start, is this sheet of die cuts. These are grey granite, and I love them. And I've been using them on different things. So you can see I use them on my card here, and I put a couple of the little guys just here around the edges of my card. And you're thinking, well, where did the roses come from? I didn't see those. That's because there is actually a matching stamp set, which I literally got out before I started. And where did I put it? Here it is. Okay. It's called Everyday You and Me, and it does match this workshop kit. Okay. Now, if you don't want to get this, you don't have to have it. You don't have to have it to make up any of the projects that are in the kit. Okay. So these don't use these. However, if you love them and you want to use them, you absolutely can. And it's an inexpensive bundle. And that's what I've used on my card here. So you can see I stamped the roses, and then I cut them out with the dies, and then I added some grey granite leaves from the workshop kit. And they're super nice. And I use this Happy. And because there's no birthday in it, because these are more scrapbooking sentiments, I cut the birthday out of the Beautiful Butterflies set. I stamped it and then cut around it and made it into a birthday card. Okay, so I will ask the eye doctor, and if Ellen's watching, which she probably isn't because she's at work, Ellen works for my eye doctor. So Ellen might have some thoughts on that too. Oh, yes, sorry. Suze, I hope I'm not going to lose all my audience over to Sue. Susan's going live at 12:30. So, yes, for those of you in the US, you might want to go check her out, or you can watch her on replay, whichever. But so there you go. Yes, when I had my youngest son too. Well, I only have one son. He is the youngest though. And yeah, I had gestational diabetes, much to my annoyance. I hated doing the insulin injections and all the stuff. That was yucky. But got to do it, right? I had a healthy baby, so that was the main thing. All right, I'm deciding. I think I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock. I've decided that. Let's put a quick page together because we're already halfway or so into our. So actually now, once you decide, the hard work is deciding on the photos, deciding on which papers to use. Okay, that is the hard work. I'm going to move these out of the way. I'm going to pull this in because, and I'm going to use these ones because I think they look really nice on the Pretty Peacock. It actually pulls out some of the colors in here. I think it looks really, really good. Now, I'm going to use a couple of these for inspiration. Okay, they've used this paper down here, and this paper is the one I really like. So let me grab it. All right. So I'm thinking, and the wild wheat goes really nicely with the colors behind here, like the golden tones in the rocks. I think that's really nice. And I like the idea. I mean, all the pieces that are on here, you notice they're all straight. Sometimes I like straight as well, but sometimes I like not straight. So I'm actually going to cut this paper down a little bit. And if you use a DSP piece by itself, I find that can be, I'm going to cut, how much am I going to cut? I'm going to cut 1 1/4 inches off the bottom here. And, you know, 1 inch or 1 1/4, thereabouts. But whatever you cut off one, you cut off the side as well. So you've still got a square piece, all right? And then what that has done, that has made a 10 and whatever. I can't even think about what that is. And then that's going to go in here. So why would I do that? Why would I put that on to here because I want a border, but also not only do I want a border, I want it to be a bit stronger because using the DSP by itself, it's quite flimsy. Something you will note that these two-tone papers, which are the same as the ones close to my heart used to have, they are thinner than your regular cardstock. And I'm actually looking at this and thinking I'm actually going to take it down a little bit more. I'm actually going to go another 1/4 of an inch, so there'd be 1.5 total off each side. So I'm going to go another 1/4 of an inch. I want it to be a little bit more. And so if you're wondering how square this is, it should be 10.5 centimeters square. Yep, 10.5 by 10.5 inches. I'm talking inches today because we're scrapbooking. Right, so that's better. It gives me a little bit more of a border. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick it straight down. Now, you can use any glue you like, all right? And if you want to use a different color, like this one here, you could use it, and it might come down to your photos. I wanted to use this because I like this golden tone in here because I think it picks up these really nicely, okay? So for me, and if you're going to have photos overlapping, okay, and I am, if you're going to have photos overlapping, think about which photo you want to have at the back. So in this case, I'm going to overlap this one because this bit of sand and ground in the front here is not that important to me. So that's the one that needs to go at the back, and this one needs to go at the front. All right. So like so. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick this down. And like I said, you can use tape, you can use seal, you can use Tombow, whatever you like. You don't need to put it all the way around because in fact, I'm just going to go around the outside, around the outside, around the outside. All right. And I'm going to have that. So I'm lining this up so it's the same amount of distance on all sides. All right. Pieces on. And then we've got these pieces. Now, let's talk mattes for a second. Okay. If you want to have strong contrast between the background and you have a light background, you want to pick a darker color matte, and vice versa. If I was working on a dark color, then I would probably use a light colored matte, so maybe white or a very light color. So I'm deciding which color I should use for these. Remember those pieces of paper I had earlier? That's actually why I pulled these pieces out. And I'm deciding. I'll tell you another color that is not in this paper that you could get away with. Okay, so this is what the white would look like. All right, so it's a bit of contrast there, and it is okay. All right, so it's okay, but you don't get a lot of contrast between this and this because this is a fairly light background. If I want to use Lost Lagoon, that's a little darker, and it's going to give me a bit more contrast in the background there. That's quite nice, actually. I don't mind the Lost Lagoon. And then we've got Pretty Peacock again. Or we could pull out other colors from our photos. All right. Whoop, what am I doing? So Pretty Peacock on here. All right. You're cheating on Susan. Shh. Look, I won't tell her. And if you wanted to use other colors that are in the background here, we could go with Wild Wheat. What do you think about that as a color choice? Because those actually don't look bad. So the other options, we can go with a black matte. There's plenty of black in these photos, and that would look really nice. I don't know what, I'm pulling out other colors. I tell you what else looks good with this, even though it's not mentioned as, okay, so that's your pecan pie. That's actually quite nice as well. Wild Wheat, you think, Inika? And you like the Wild Wheat too, Marty? Okay, so maybe that's where we need to go. I'm just going to look at it for a second. Interestingly, Mossy Meadow looks quite good because it pulls out some green out of here. But here's another color choice. Oh, and of course, Grey Granite. No, I feel like that gets a bit lost. So not Grey Granite. I think you're right, girls. Wild Wheat's my favorite so far. Here's one other choice I pulled in because this goes really nicely with these colors as well, and that is Early Espresso. So that's also a nice option, all right? Obviously, we need to cut it to the right size, but that would also work. Even though it's not a color that's in the paper, but it pulls out the colors in my my rocks here. So that's really nice. All right, so girls, the vote seems to be for wild wheat, so let's go with it. And I am going to, I've got a couple of pieces here. I'm going to cut my mats. Now my mats are going to have to be for 6x4 photos, which are what my photos are. Let me just check that before I do anything. They're the same, I know that. So, yep, 6 by, should be 4. Yep, so that means I'm going to make these 1/4 inch bigger. Okay, so I'm just putting 2 pieces together so I can work them at the same time. And I'm going to have 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Now, the nice thing about this trimmer, if you don't have a trimmer, this is a really good trimmer, okay, is that you want to use the 6 1/4 mark, which is right on the join here, but they do actually have the markings. So you can still cut at the 6 1/4 mark. See, because it is written on this little brown bit here, the 6 1/4 mark. So I can go right in there at 6 1/4 and I don't lose my measurements. All right, so let's put these on. All right, if you were my snail, where did I just put you? Seriously? The problem is I've got stuff everywhere on the desk when I scrapbook, and we might have to just pick something else, or maybe I have another seal. Oh yeah, I have another seal. Let's use that. All right, so I'm going to put these straight across here. And I'm putting them on the mats early, that doesn't mean I'm going to glue it down on my layout yet, because I might decide, for example, that I want to, you know, have something coming out from underneath, which means I don't want to be gluing them down too soon. But I do want to put it on the mat because then I know what size I'm working with. I know what size I'm using, so that works. Okay, there's one and there's the other. My husband loves to swim, so this was a moment he really enjoyed when we were in Mexico, and the river that went around the resort was just beautiful, and the weather was really hot, so you know it was perfect. All right, so I'm going to have that going right about there. All right, so hopefully you're seeing how it does work there. I know, and it's because of the colors that are in the background here, and also in the colors in the rocks and the greens, and yeah, it just works. You're right. Yeah, pecan pie would have also been, and early espresso would have also been good, Marty. You're right. Yeah, I think you're right. All right, so that's looking really good. The other thing about this is you can also have a think. My colors have got more yellow at the top and more blue green at the bottom. Yellow at the top, blue green at the bottom. Okay, so this is more yellow at the top and more blue green at the bottom as well. So we can do that. Or if you want to have it balanced the other way, you might decide you wanted to have, or you might want them going vertically, but this is another option. Do we want them so they work? Does that give it more balance? I'm wondering if it does, or whether I should leave it the other way. I'm thinking about balance here. I actually think I like that best. I don't know about anybody else, but I think it does work. All right, so I'm happy with that. That's looking really good. I am going to add a couple of different things, and I'm working out whether I want to add more things to this. So because I'm happy to get rid of some sand and stuff here, I don't really need all that. I could use, for example, today and write down some things we did that day. That would be nice. What else have we got? My happy place. Well, it's not my happy place. It's my husband's happy place. Enjoying the moment. That's nice. I really like that. We've got things to remember, best of times, a special day, pure sweetness, no. Happiness, story of today. These are good. These are good. And then we've also got these little like banners that we could pop out from different places. That might be really good. But if I want anything to be a bit darker, that's where I might come in with my blending brush. And this is something I love to do. I love to use a blending brush. And I'm going to bring in some Pretty Peacock ink, and I'm going to make a bit darker color here. So I'm going to give it a little bit. We know that's going to go about there, so I'm actually going to make it a bit darker than what it is. So you can alter your paper if you want to, you know, to add a bit more color. I think that looks rather good, actually. What do you think? Liking that. Just bring it down a little bit more. Also, you'll notice that there are some speckles in this paper. You could also add more speckles, right? And a good set for this, and we used it on the last cut. We used it on this layout as well last month. We've got these, excuse me, the speckles and the text behind. And some text coming out behind on here would be nice. I can't stop using this set. It's called Elements of Text, and it's fantastic. Such a good set to use. So I'm actually going to have a little play. I'm just going to add a little bit of this just because it's cool, and I want to add some more speckles. Let's see. What do I want to add this one? Maybe this one. Yeah, I think maybe just some random speckles. Not that one today. And I'm going to use my Pretty Peacock again. And I know I want these about here. So I'm going to have some darker speckles than what is actually. And they're going to look like they're just part of the paper, actually. They look good, don't they? I know the speckles are great. It's just such a good set. Let me add that over here. And then I'm going to clean it. And I am actually going to bring in some more. But guess what I'm going to do? I thought I might add some wild wheat speckles at the top to go with the wild wheat speckly paper. So here's my wild wheat. Yeah, I can't stop using it. If you don't have this set yet, it is super, super useful, not just for scrapbooking, but for cards as well. And it's just fantastic. So we've already got light speckles. So I'm just interested in adding some darker speckles. And I don't even know for sure if I'm going to end up. So I'm going to leave it about that for now because that looks rather good. I don't want to go overboard with my speckles. And do I want to add some wild wheat color to the top, or is it? I think it maybe just a little bit up here, but apart from that, it's probably doesn't need much. So adding back some wild wheat. Oh, the wild wheat is very wet, so I need to be careful here and make sure that I find a scrap of paper and just work on the scrap. Give me a second, I'll just work on the back of this for a second. See how it's very blobby because there's a lot of ink on it. And it's quite yellow-green, isn't it? Lots of speckles. All right, so I'm just going to have a bit more color coming out here to kind of balance what we did down the bottom with the Pretty Peacock. There we go. That looks good. How about that? All right, I'm leaving my, and I'm deciding, do I want a little bit of text coming out? I think I do. The thing with the text, you can't really read it, and that's the idea of it. You're not meant to be able to read it, but you still need to be careful which way the letters go because there is a right way up and a wrong way up. So I can see that that is the right way up because the T's are crossed at the top, even though I can't really read that, but that's okay. I'm deciding whether to use Pretty Peacock or maybe, you know what? I think I might go Lost Lagoon. I want it to be a little lighter. So I'm going to have some coming out here behind this picture. I'm only going to have a couple of bits of this. I'm not going to go crazy. And I'm just going to have a bit coming out here. So it's quite light. Can you see that? Oh, that looks good. Yes, happy with that. And I'm going to go Lost Lagoon on the other as well. You might not be able to see it very much under the camera light there, but I like it. Let's see if I bring it up closer, if you can see it. Can you see the writing there? And then over here we've got a bit of text as well. All right. It's coming along. It's looking good. All right, about there is where I want it. All right, I think I'm just about ready to put my pictures on. So I'm going to put this one on first. I'm not going to have anything popping out from behind. I've decided to leave it as it is. I'm not going to put that down too hard until I make sure I've got this one where I want it. Yeah, that's about right. So push that down, and then this one. And then this one goes right about there. There we go. All right, so let's add some other elements now. And then we're not far off finishing. It's not a difficult page. It's a very simple page with basics that anyone can do, really. All right. So, oh, I know what I was thinking of doing. All right, so I've got some white, and I do want to have a couple of little flowers on here. And I'm thinking, do you think you could use flowers on a guy page? Do you think you can? What's the verdict on there? Do you guys think that flowers shouldn't be on a guy page? Or does it not matter? Is my husband going to care? Probably not. I'm looking for a block. And now, I could stick with the pretty peacock, but I'm tempted to do like I did with this card and I brought in some navy. And the reason why is because he's got navy in his what do you call this? In his rashi that he's wearing. Actually, it's more black, but it looks navy in the pictures. It turned out kind of blue, but in real life it's kind of black. And then I'm going to grab, I've got a piece of white here. So what color? You say yes. Lots of guys love flowers. Yes. I bet she did too. I know, it's such a great set. It really is. All right, so I'm actually going to go a little lighter. I'm going to go Misty Moonlight. Depends on the guy. Yeah. Yep. It does depend on the guy. All right, so let me... Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to not stamp it with this underneath because... That's better. See, I had something underneath. I had my scrapbook page sitting underneath, so it wasn't completely flat, so it didn't stamp as well as it should have. Okay, so I'm just going to do, maybe I'll just do the one little group of flowers. I don't want to go overboard. And then maybe a smaller one here. And do I want to use the same colors, or do I want to go with... all right, so what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to stamp it and I'm going to stamp it off. So I get a lighter one. All right, so I quite like this lighter one, and I think maybe this one and this one would look nice together. What else have I got here to use? We've got the happy, which would be nice again, or I think I'm more likely to use enjoying the moment is the one I'm leaning towards here. And I'm going to pull that in. Maybe not. Let me put that up the top there. Enjoying the moment, because he certainly is. And then I'm going to use my Everyday You and Me dies to cut these out. Now, there are leaves and things in here, but I thought I'd use the leaves from the grey granite die cuts because I think those are nice. And I'm going to cut this out. Let me see. This is where that one goes. And then a smaller one. Which way does that go? Goes there. Okay, those two need to be cut out. So what I actually need to do, I've just realized, is cut this piece of paper smaller because it won't go through the cut and emboss machine if it's too big, right? It needs to be half the size. So let me pull that down. All right, so let me cut these two and I'll be right back. Okay. So these are looking quite nice. Let's see how they look on here. And I'm wondering whether I'm going to need a third flower. Maybe. Like so. And then let's look at our grey granite die cuts when I find them. I really need a bigger desk for scrapbooking. What I should do, I'm just thinking about this, is when I do my scrapbooking videos, what I should do is bring over, I should go over to the table, bring all my stuff over to the big table, my class table, and maybe do it there. And I'm deciding, I mean, I could grab this piece here, or I could have a big fluffy lot of, or fluffy flourish of leaves. Actually, this one's nice. Let's try that. So you notice one of the big advantages of using a workshop kit is that everything is coordinated. All right. And when I first started scrapbooking, this is my big problem. All right. So this is what I'm thinking about doing with these. Having that like that. That looks rather good, doesn't it? Oh, good night. Who's going to bed? Inika. Inika's going to bed. You're very, very welcome, Inika. I hope it was helpful. You don't think the flowers fit in with the theme of this page? Yeah, you're probably right. It doesn't really. You're right, Jennifer. I agree with you. And so if we were going to do that, I mean, it looks good and it brings in these colors nicely, but you're right. It's not really a flowery page. Let me just put them to one side. I do still like the leaves though. I feel like the leaves might be the go, but maybe not the flowers. So what could we do instead? Let's look at our sticker page. And maybe instead, because when you put it like that, you are correct. Maybe we have these little guys are better, and then maybe I put my leaves out from underneath. What do we think about that? Jennifer, you let me know if you think that is a better choice. And then the last thing I wanted to do was maybe, I mean, that's a possibility. It doesn't have to go there, but you let me know what you think. Maybe another type of flower. Yeah, the leaves, I agree. The grey granite picks up the color of the rocks, and just using the leaves, that's a possibility. Or maybe we have something else down here with the leaves coming out from behind. So rather than being in the middle, I mean, I was just using where the two photos cross over as a focal point, but it doesn't have to be, okay? So let me put that back on the sticker sheet for a second because I am not sure about it. The other thing I loved, remember I told you I loved it before, was having this little guy down here and then writing down what we were doing that day, because I can definitely do that. All right, so pop that and writing down, using this as a journaling block, and then maybe having some leaves come out from that. What do we think about that idea? Or maybe I need a different set of leaves in this spot. These are nice, these ones. No, don't like that one either. I like the way it looks. Like, I like the balance of it. I think that's nice. But I'm just not sure about the block. I mean, I could do my own block. That would be very easy to do. Oh, hey, Cherie. Nice to see you. You think it balances out the title? Yeah, I feel like the balance is good. And I quite like this idea. Now, the other thing is, for a class, there's only one of these on the sticker sheet. And I've got, I think, 3 packs. So only 3 people could have this. But what I could do instead for a class is I could cut out a shape and we could use a wash and actually make it so that we could write on that. So that would be an easy thing for me to create. Oh, gosh, never apologize. Never, ever, ever apologize. Now, if I'm going to have this piece here, I feel like I need a little piece, maybe up here. Something like that. Or that might be still too big, maybe even smaller. Maybe these ones. Let me lift that up for a second and pop it under there. What do we think about that? How's it coming together? 3 hours later, it never a problem. Never, ever a problem. Blending around the edges would have softened the white. Around here, around this little border, do you mean? We could still do that. I haven't pushed it down too hard. It can be lifted. So I can do that. But you know what? For the purpose of this, I'm going to leave it like it is. And going to say that that's a finished page, even though I still need to write on here what it is I need to write. But just a little bit of additions that we've added. So we've used elements from the kit, but then we've added some, you know, changed the mat. So we've added the mat to meet in with our wild wheat. We've added some splatter and a little bit of text from the elements of text set, which I think looks really, really good. It's subtle, but I really like that. That's one of my favorite things about this. We've used some of the grey granite leaves, and I can stick those down properly with glue dots. So put a couple of glue dots under there to hold it in place. We used a couple of stickers, but those are optional, or you can create a banner, or a, you know, we could use dies to create the same kind of thing and write on them. There's lots and lots of things we can do to actually make this up, even after we've used up the stickers and so forth. What do we think? Do you like it? I think it does work. Oh, no. Is that new, Cherie? You knew we had it for ages. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Marty's question's good. Is there a medication that will help him? Oh, you love the page. I'm so glad. So this is my husband's going for a swim in the river in Mexico, which he thoroughly enjoyed, and it was a beautiful day. The weather was perfect. When we were there, it was pretty much 30 degrees every single day, like 29 or 30 degrees every day, and just perfect weather and little light breeze and just gorgeous. And so good weather for swimming. And we did a lot of that. We were in the water a lot. I'm not someone who goes swimming a lot, but on a holiday like this, yeah, we did. It was fantastic. Oh, goodness. All right. Yep, I'm not going to add any more. I think it's enough. And that's the thing. You don't want to add so much that your photos are not you want your photos to be the star of the show. And for me, that's really important. I'm actually really glad that we removed the flowers. even though I liked the flowers, but I'll use them on something else. But I agree that they weren't right on this page. So I think we did well. And the other thing I would do is I would get my journaling pen, or a journaling pen. Let me see if I've got one here. That's 5. I like the 1-point journaling pens. This is a 1. Yes, that one's a 1. And let me just grab a scrap of paper to test it on. Here we go. Just a little scrap of paper. Oh no, it's not great. It's a bit scratchy. Some of my journaling pens are old, and I'm so excited. I hope that Stampin' Up! Is bringing out some journaling pens in the new scrapbook stuff that we'll get in the new caddy. I'm also waiting on albums. I haven't been putting my stuff in albums for quite a while, and I'm hoping that Stampin' Up! Is going to reintroduce albums. So that would be good. There is a couple of scrapbook albums that are like 8.5 by 11, but I want a 12 by 12 one. So yes, I will, Kate. I will. When I do the other page with him jumping off the rocks, that'd be a great one. And I'll also finish this up and take a photo of this once I've journaled my bits and pieces and put it up on my page. So there we go. That's our page today. Scrapbooking does not have to be long and laborious. If you overthink it, I think that's when it can be, I don't know, it's not enjoyable if you overthink it. You just need to get stuff down, stick it down, get it on the page. And once you do, usually straight away if something looks right or not. It's like when we put the flowers on, they weren't quite right. And when Jennifer said that, I'm like, yep, she's right. You're so welcome. Maybe a little more splatter and some words. Yes. Well, once I get my this journaling pen, this one is a 5. What I was going to say is I would probably write the date on here. I've just got to work out which day this was. We'd been, I think it was the first full day that we were there actually, because I know we went for a walk around the river that afternoon, and I'm pretty sure that was the day. So I need to write down, I need to check my diary, my agenda, and see what we did on the different on that particular day. And I would really like to then write the date along here with my, so I mean I won't write the actual day, but I'm not even going to write the month because we got there on the last day of April, and so yeah, I'm not sure whether it's April or May, but that's 2024. I do know that. Let me write 2024 in. Oh, of course, the pen's not going to work. Isn't that the thing? I can't wait until we have new pens. Yeah, this one's almost on its way out. Oh, well, I will find. I have got some more somewhere, so I will dig some up. But that's a bit sad because I need new journaling pens. Oh, well. Okay, so that's our card. That's our layout today, and I hope you enjoyed making it with me. It's a forgotten gold substitute. Yes, you can use wild wheat instead of gold. It actually works out quite well. Looks really good with wild wheat. Looks really good with gold embossing. That's a really nice combo. So, oh, thank you so much, Danette. It's not too far. It's only 5 hours, and if we get up and if we leave by 7 a.m., we're up there by lunchtime, and then we get to spend all afternoon up there. So, yeah, it's not too bad. And I love driving, so I usually do the driving. The old marker pen, not as well, because the old marker pen had a plastic tip, and I like a felt tip when I write on my layouts. So just that's a personal preference, but I like a felt tip pen. All right, you guys. Well, let me come back. Don't forget all the new Sale-A-Bration things that I just showed you at the start of this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing those. Particularly, I'm excited about the alphabet dies. And if you already have those, the next thing I'm excited about is the bee punch, because the bee punch does match the new Meant to Be set, as well as the Be My Valentine set, which was in our collection before. I didn't show you these today, but these are the dies that are in, and look at these hexagons. Oh my gosh, look at those. So these match the Meant to Be stamp set. How good are those? And you're going to see me using them quite a bit this month because this Meant to Be kit is going to be my kit of the month. Merlot he's not asleep. He's still lying on them, but he's not asleep. Merlot, can you move up there, please? Thank you, sweetheart. I'm sorry. He's looking at me as if to say, why? Why are you moving me? Because you're lying on my kit. That's why. All right, so this is the meant to be kit, and you can see it's pinks and greens and yellows and a little bit of blue. Okay, super nice. This is going to be next month's kit. So when I do this video next month, this is the one I'm going to be creating a page with. And if you're looking for it, is in the online store, or we also have a digital scrapbooking brochure that you can check out as well. But it is in the online store. All the details are down in the description below the YouTube video. So here are some of the. So here are the sticker sheet. You can see I've already used a little bit of it, but this is the sticker sheet that goes with the meant to be set. And then we also have some beautiful papers. We have our placeholders, the photo placeholders, but the pages are just gorgeous. And if it looks familiar, we used to have a set very, very similar that was in red and green. Do you remember that? Real red, and actually it wasn't real red. It was, what was that retired colour? What was the retired red that just retired last year? Somebody will know. I've forgotten what it was. Gone blank. It was the in colours that just recently retired, or retired last year, I should say. Oh, that's fantastic for scrapbooking, something with a preschool called Beehive. Oh my goodness. That's a good idea too, Lani. That's a great idea. I will have a good visit with my dad. These papers are fabulous. Then we've got a couple of exclusive ones, just the kit. So these are not in the paper. These are the single-sided ones. And so there's those pretty ones, and then there's yellow. Is it dots? Actually, they're tiny little flowers. They look like dots because they're only little. And then you've got your bubble bath. I always say bubble gum. The pink, it's the bubble bath, and you can see it is actually two-tone. Old olive, pool party, and looks like we have petunia pop in there as well. And then we also have these. These are die cuts. And you're probably thinking it's just stripy paper, Linda. What are you talking about? No, no, no. Can you see the flowers? These are die cuts. So all different flowers on different stripes. So they do actually push out. See that? So those are a bit of fun. So these are all part, and there's some white DSP and white 12 by 12 paper in there as well. So super nice kit. Excited to play with this one next month. Very excited about the hexagons. I love the hexagon dies, and there's also some hexagon. I'll put it back on the floor, and Merlot will probably move on to it again in no time flat. Yeah, and there's some words. There's a our hive is the words in there. Can you see it? And they're just fantastic. But remember that the bee punch also matches up with this stamp set. So super nice. Very excited about all that. All right. Happy with my page. It turned out really nice. I hope that you had fun with me today as well. It's always nice having a play. Sweet sorbet, that was the colour. Thank you so much, Maureen. I couldn't remember. A pinky red. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That was the colour in that last lot of bee paper. I know. I love the flowers. They're really fun. All right, you guys, have a fantastic day, whatever it is you're up to, or evening, depending on where you are. And I will be back again on Friday night for Friday Night Live, for those of you who are around for that. It is sketch night, so we'll be doing a new sketch, and I hope that you enjoy that. I'm actually scrapbooking. I've got a scrapbooking class tomorrow all day, and that's Thursday and Friday all day as well. So by Friday night, I'll probably be a little bit tired. You'll have to bear with me. I might need lots of people in the comments telling me jokes or something fun to keep me awake. All right, you guys. See you very soon. Bye-bye.